Greetings, Amy. Greetings. Still waiting on people to come in so we can open up real quick. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Happy holiday. About to have temple service in a bit. Just waiting on the people to come on in. If you want to come up stage, Sister Amy, you can just click the greenhouse at the top. If you ain't already, I'll bring you on up. Okay, I thought that was me. You sound low, Noble.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, much better, much better, much better. Islam. I was just
True
saying.
peace. How you doing today?
All is well and good spirits. Just taking care of business, handling things.
What's on
How
the
things going?
agenda?
Well, I was just waiting on people to roll on in. Uh, we ain't had too many come through. Well, if they did come through, I ain't seen them come through. They say 5 people came in already, but I don't. For some reason, I don't see them passing through. I don't know, but just been sitting here waiting to open up the temple, waiting on people to come in.
I
Wanted to
heard
go,
that.
wanted to go over consistency today. you know, being consistent
Well,
and
I
how it's
appreciate you
affecting us.
being consistent. Um, Definitely when there is a need, you know, you guys are there right on time. And it reminds me of God on how in the old days they say he may not come when you want him, but he'll be right on time. And
Yes,
so
man.
timing is definitely key. And so I'm grateful for this time.
All's well. All's well. Thank you, No. It's always good to hear your voice and have your presence with us. You're right about that. You're definitely right about that. Because it's been on my mind, I guess, this particular day in particulars. Because I noticed, you know, I mean, we all notice it. I can't feed you, baby. So black cat. Um, you know, we always caught up in something that's entertaining, and we're not taking advantage of this day and the energy of this day. And we kind of wonder why we be in the situations we be in as a community and as a people. And we have this good old, special Friday every week, and it circles around every week. But we never take advantage of gathering the energy and building the momentum on this day. So that just, was the main thing that was on my mind. I was gonna kind of let people come in, talk, interact with each other, and then go into the sermon. I just figured people would come in late today, so that's that.
I feel
I
that.
feel that.
You got to meet
You gotta
people
meet
where they're
people
at,
where they're at.
you know?
You know,
I took a
I
break.
took a
I come
break. I
in
come in
and out,
and out,
but I'm
but I'm
grateful for the
grateful for the
consistency that you
consistency that
were talking
you're
about
talking about.
before.
For
Well, yeah, because
God is
God is
consistent.
consistent.
that's what I.
We consistently benefit from the energy of the sun. We consistently benefit from the power of oxygen. We consistently, so if we're made in the image, if you're consistently providing, you're just walking the right direction. And so do not be weary in the service of well doing. And I just wanted to say, I see you in the service of well doing. Um, I feel as though when you see people that are striving for righteousness and goodness, we have to show up for one another. And in some cultures, they've been doing it since before kindergarten. And in the African American community, there is division. So we're figuring it out late in age. Maybe some of us hold on to it in the younger developments, the younger ages or whatever. But some of us get it later on after we go through things. So it's like that's why I said you have to meet them where they're at, because some of us gain enlightenment early, some of us gain enlightenment later on in the middle. So it's like you can't judge people when they get that aha moment. It just happens when it's time. Just like God, He shows up or she shows up not when you want, but right on time. Know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am. That's right. That's right. That's right. You're right about that. Because I know I done been through those situations. I get put in those situations a lot where um either I'm kind of like letting people know, and then it doesn't happen when they want it to happen, and then they kind of gotta go through those trying moments where they right when they're about to give up, and they like, oh. And that's the whole essence of faith, and being faithful, because that's what we discussed this week in some of the rooms that I was in. Even if you're the last, not the last one, but you're always there, and it's pretty much one or two people, three or four people, sticking around and being consistent, and just kind of making sure you stay dedicated. That's how somebody is taking something serious, because if you give up, uh and this is your first rodeo, your first talent show, whatever it may be, then you can't say that you really took that talent or that skill set, or whatever thing that it is that you're trying to dedicate yourself to. You didn't really take that serious, or you didn't take the dedication that you said you was going to put in serious. And that's just what I noticed, because I'm here most of the time when it's like what one or two people, and we conducting service. Sometimes it's just me, and I'll do the service and leave it on record for people. So I'm getting a hang of doing that. And like you say, God don't show up when you want him, but it'll be there right on time. For me, that's kind of been a life message. Because when I dedicate, especially so-called being a so-called Libra, when I dedicate myself to something, I'm going hard. And if I got to be the only one there, that's just kind of what it is for me. Because I've been doing the crypto thing in a similar fashion, where I've been telling people, get on board, get on board, get on board. But they still caught up in a lot of distractions, and or they get caught up by a sales pitch or something like that, and they don't figure it out until
I think they
some.
get
I think
caught
they
up
get caught up
in their
in their
paradigm
paradigm.
being
Right.
shifted.
Being shifted.
And there was
And
a
there was a
knowing
knowing
that
that
there was
there
going to
was
be an
going to be an
instant,
instant,
like a knock
like
on
a
the
knock
door,
on the door.
to say hello, wake up.
Right.
And a lot of people avoid that,
Yeah. Yeah.
because then they can be oblivious of the truth. And that's what I realize, is that you're telling me everything that I work for, everything that I've been through, everything that I believed, I'm on the wrong track, and I put so much energy into it. That's a paradigm shift.
Right. Right.
Even in the Matrix, it's all about the movie. The Matrix is all about a paradigm shift.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
So that's actually painful, because there's a lot of effort to being right. And then after you built this character, this ego, this bank account, after you built, and you was like, I'm standing up for it. You know what I mean? And then somebody just gives a little pebble that could be a paradigm shift.
Right.
Just a breadcrumb that could lead you in another direction. That is scary. And I think I can raise my hand to say, because God wants us to be a witness. And so for me, I avoided, in my early stage, I avoided certain knowledge, because I
Knowledge,
knew
because
that I would be
that would be
responsible for that.
responsible for that.
Be in the
I know
world,
what
but
you
not
mean. Be in
of
the
it.
world, but not of it.
But they
Yes,
feeding
man.
it,
But
they're
they
throwing it
feed
down
it.
your
They
throat.
throwing it down your throat.
Netflix.
Ooh. Wee.
So
So
the atmosphere
atmosphere
that we're born
we're
into
born
can
into
be
can be toughie. Yeah, because
It's inclusive. The world we're born into is very inclusive. Do this and that'll work. Do this and that'll work. If you include this mannerism, this will work. You know what I mean? So it's like you're always trying to study what's right so you can gain more.
right, and it's the long suffering. Because I was watching this video. This I guess this dude, some dude with glasses on. They was clowning him because he guess he's anybody with some bifocals on is supposed to be trying to be a Kevin Samuels nowadays. But the the brother the brother actually was making a point, and he was talking about so-called gender roles, but gender roles just in general. But he tried to ask the brother some questions, and I mean, the new ageism thing, and they trying to flip it because it's like the brother started attacking him with some points that didn't even make sense, like about we're not we're not in slavery times anymore, and so gender roles don't matter and all this. And all you see is men and women, right? And it was crazy because they did not watch the video to the end. Go ahead, what you say?
I said divide and conquer and deception to the point where we are living in a day where we don't even know what a woman is.
Right, like, oh my god, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my god, like, okay, all the way down. The video, when you watch the video, it says watch it to the end, right? No, you could tell how many people did not watch that video all the way to the end. So it was a guy in the top of the guy that was hosting, then it was a guy on the bottom, like picture in picture, and he asked him, so you know there's basically no gender roles. He's like, man, we don't do that. And we when somebody feel like no, no, the question was, why don't women feel like coming home after work and cooking and cleaning? And he was like, well, wouldn't you be tired of coming home and you don't want to do nothing when you come home? And said, was saying that when somebody there or somebody sees something, they just do, like basically, 50-50, which is okay, understandable. But as the conversation kind of progresses, he goes into the religious, response to the brother, like, and the whole cause white supremacy thing. And the brother that was hosting, he's like, well, I didn't mention anything about white supremacy, and I wasn't talking about faith. All I was asking was, why does women don't feel like cooking or cleaning after, or when they or just period, no more in general, not necessarily having anything to do with working. And so nobody listened to the end part, because they all hyped up the fact that, like, yeah, if the man gotta pay all the bills, it's the only way I'm gonna be coming home. Only way I'm gonna be coming home cooking and cleaning. Or if I didn't have to pay no bills, I'll be at home cooking and cleaning. And I'm like, wait a minute. These people have not listened to the end. And it was like two or three people, one woman, who pointed out, she was like, the dude at the bottom has no discipline. And all these people missed that main point, because right before it clicked off, the last question, because the dude that was hosting, he was like tired of listening. He was like, this is foolishness. But the main question that everybody missed right before you could tell they ADHD started kicking in was literally, so he said, if a woman okay, he said, when it comes to building a house, who's going to build the house? You as the man, or or the woman, like actually physically building the house? And the brother said, it doesn't matter who build the house. We're going to do it together. She's going to be doing this and doing that. But in my back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, it's okay for the sister to put us some sheetrock, you know what I mean, a couple carpets. But brother, The brother is asking you a masculine man question. When it comes to who's gonna build the house, who gonna lay the bricks, who gonna like? I get women do construction as
Okay,
well.
so at the end of the day, women are just as capable as men are, but women are the nurturers and the men are the strength. The man is the head because he has more matter, he is more dense. The
Right,
foundation on the inside of this beautiful, dense thing, there the mother lies, open and beautiful. She has to have the space to be herself so she can nurture her seed and herself and her house from from amongst what the man has built for her and him. And so when you think that you're doing it all by yourself, you are sadly mistaken.
right,
Sadly
right.
mistaken. And so the tactics of the enemy, the tactics of the lower self, the tactics of those that are
Mm,
living backwards, the tactics of evil backwards is live. And living backwards is not what God intended you to do in such situations. And so it's been carried on generations and generations to uphold what is righteous and what is not.
right,
And
right,
in my generation, the tactics of war of divide and conquer, to deceive and confuse, these things, if you don't know what's up or down, you can go left or right. Sometimes you just got to walk forward. And so if you decide not to walk backward, where do you stand? Where is your majesty?
Talk to us
Where's
about.
your power? The energy source is within. The energy has to come from within. So you have to decide what you want. And that is the
Right,
walk because it's different for every person. You
that's
may
true.
want cold and I may want warm. You're not wrong and I am not right.
Right, right,
I
right.
mean, it's a neutral existence of, all right, there's a family, there is a galactic family in one house sharing a space. And what do we do when we have roommates? We have to see what is necessary to to con, to keep, excuse me, to keep harmony. All
Right,
right, we living together. You do your thing, I do my thing, but how can we have harmony?
right. The yin
I
and
know
yang.
you want hot, and but I want cold, and you sweating, and I'm freezing. You ain't wrong. You listening to your soul. Listen to your body. Your body sweating. You can't handle it. You can't handle it. So, but you're not wrong. You listen to yourself. So yourself tells you where the road lies.
Right.
Yourself tells you which direction, and you have to honor it. If you do not honor the fact that I am different,
Mm,
well,
mm,
you
mm.
are deceived. You are
That's
oblivious to the truth, and that is called ignorance. And when someone called me ignorant up once upon a time, I took offense, but now I'm wise. And I know ignorance means I did not study enough, and because I do not know, I am going to turn my head.
right, right, right.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know
It's
that.
man.
And so I'll ignore it.
it
That's
truly
not
baffles me because
for
it's like,
one.
okay, we're at the point. Is men supposed to have the babies now? Like, is we is a man got a
So
womb
it's
now?
already been going on long enough for you to know what a woman is and for what a man is. If in this day and age, with all the information, if you're confused, then you ignore what your forefathers and your foremothers gave to you because they
Right,
put it on the walls for a reason. It's because they knew that the great forgetting would happen. And so they said, if they forget, here it is on the wall. I hope they never forget because I know that they could. Preparing for her babies, preparing for the next generation. You know what I mean?
facts.
So you can't be selfish in your living. So you're living, you're going to work, you're doing your day to day, but do your day to day for the next generation. That is your purpose. And you're like, oh, they're not showing up yet, but maybe one. And then one will turn into two. And then two will turn into three. But are we patient enough to achieve one step at a time, one moment at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 day at a time? Do we have the courage to just take a step back, to take a step forward? Amen. So it's like I discipline my kids, and I told my kids, I said, the hardest thing for me was to, when I was younger, and it's becoming easier, but when I was younger, it was hard for me to say, you know what, it was me. I was wrong. I did the thing. My energy caused the thing. Yeah, I brought that in that situation. That was all me. That was hard for me. But I felt like every time that I do it now, I gain brownie points with God. Because God knows that I'm telling the truth. And I feel like God is asking you to tell the truth when it's the most hardest. Because your testimony may be someone else's deliverance.
Right,
Your
facts.
vulnerability may be someone else's deliverance. And then, as I'm older now, God is reminding me of those that were delivered. I seen it. So it's like, okay, I seen miracles, I seen changes, I seen wonders, I seen them. So now God was like, all right, now that you've seen it, you gotta tell people. Like, you can't just be like, well, I saw miracles and I'm never gonna tell anybody. That's not your job. That's not your job. That's not your purpose. Your purpose is to see the miracles and to testify. This is all of what the Bible is and many other beautiful texts from those that were channeling and receiving messages. The days of prophecy is not ended. It's right now. It's right here. Your story begins when you speak out loud your truth and not lying to yourself. You can't overcome if you lie to yourself.
Right.
Born into sin. You're born into the music videos, and you're born into the radio, and you're born into social media, and you're born into participating and keeping up. You're born into vanity. It's greater than it's ever been. Welcome to Earth.
Hold on, stay right there, cause I'm echo. I hear my echo. Hold on. Yeah, I don't hear no echo. Cool.
Hey, it is what it is.
That is crazy, nah. Like,
Welcome to Earth. but not of it,
Yes, ma'am.
right? Walk in the shadows or walk in the light. It's like it's always two-sided. It's like your story and then the truth. Let me say it for those in the back. It's like
Those in
it's
the back, man.
two-sided. It's two-sided. Your story and the truth. And the truth. Truth for what? Truth for what? Truth will set you. Come on. Truth will set you free. Talking to myself, talking to the world at the same time. Isn't that grand? You can get it right now and for tomorrow. Surplus.
Man.
You can get it right now and for tomorrow. Surplus. Right?
Right about that. Yes, ma'am.
So, procrastination. What do we do? Procrastination is a reflection of being presented two choices, left and right, up or down, north or south, east or west. Which one? I can relate. It's where I reside. I'm analytical, weighing out the scales. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, we be needing a good word from, because people come back, they listen to us on these replays. Come back and check them out. I don't know why my phone be echoing, but yeah, this is amazing because I don't know. This is we seeing it. You know, like you say, we still living in the times of prophecy, and welcome to planet Earth, because we we signed up to do this and take this long journey on a short path, and we here, and we not alone. Et, you not alone. A lot of us just got some like you said, some epiphanies to go through, because I went through a bunch of that, and be doing everything else, but what it is that I've been put in the direction to go to, and end up doing 101 things, but that that one thing that I'm being directed toward doing, and come back and be like, oh, that's what it helped me, get to that next stage, and that instead of just stopping short of accomplishing the goal. And it's like, oh Lord, and it could all be so simple, Lauren Hill, but it's the balance, like you say, especially being the scale, and weighing the balance of things. You got to go through those journeys. It's just, for me, if I can cut out less of the analysis paralysis, oh buddy. you know
Yeah, but the analysis is like your spidey sense, right? It's like flares are up. Why? The
yeah.
question is, why are your sensories so sensitive at this given moment? It's because God wants you to start to pay attention to the details. You're like, oh, but this looks like yesterday. Oh. Think about it. Think about it. And it's like, sometimes it's like right in front of your face, and you're like, dang, I can't believe it.
Right, because
It was
that
so
will go back to
simple.
that
And
question, like, how
all
do you get tired
along,
of repetition?
it was right in front of my face, son. It was right in front of my face the whole time. Let me stop.
Right.
Okay, don't get me started. And that's the beauty of it. It's like now that I've seen that work on different planes, I'm like, could it be in front of my face in many other different planes? And the answer is yes. The answer is usually almost simple because mathematics always wants to simplify itself.
Right. Right. That's
You
crazy.
are but an atom who has a sequence and an intelligence who wants to simplify itself and be whole. Think about it. You go on, you go on, you go on. You want to be what? You want to be what? Whole. You go on, you go
Right.
on, you go on. You want to be whole. All right, I'm good now. I made it.
That's right. That's right. That's right. You what is that? Remember the Michael Jackson song? Wanna be where you are. I think that was Jackson 5 though. That's throwback.
Yeah, definitely. But it's like a vibration. And so everyone has to understand that they're exchanging a currency, they're exchanging something valuable. Energy is valuable. I'm going to pay you to do a song. Do it right now, and you know what I mean? Your world will be changed. It's already happened, it's already in the books. They've already done this. They changed the
Right.
room. There's movies that change the game. There's songs that change the game. You know what I mean? So it's like it's that vibration.
Mm, 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 mm. We are in the matrix.
Where
Yes, ma'am.
everything is vibrating. Like that's the beauty of it. So then you get to choose your song. Think about
Right.
YouTube. So many videos. Your song could be a story. And then there's a tune to it, or there's no tune to it. It's your world. And it's just the beginning. So now, if there's a greater world that's about to just like blow up like the Big Bang, like why we are here,
Mm-hmm.
right? If there's something that's coming again, because Phi always says it's coming again. I
Right.
don't know if
Right.
those missing in the back, but check out what Phi is. The distance between your eyes and your nose. There's
Talk
a
to us,
very
Simone.
special sequence. Okay, so you're in there, right? Your part's like, okay, what's my Phi sequence? What's my part? It's a beautiful story once you really get the story. But it's like, it's not fair for those who don't know. There's so many people sleeping. It's not
Oof.
fair. And you're just looking at them, you're like, dang, I don't even know how to tell you this long ass 16-hour story. 16 hours? What you mean? I thought you was about to say 30 minutes, because that's what YouTube does. This
For the
ain't
age.
YouTube,
For
this
the,
is real life. I think 16 hours is fair if
yeah.
you want to get it
Yeah.
all. But then it's like the capacity of the human being. What do you want? You want it in 30 minutes. How dare you?
Mm,
It's such a great story.
mm.
There's no way you can tell it in 30 minutes. Well, I'll try. And then the world keeps making her try and pimping her out. And
Ooh.
she's been trying for a long, long time. Now we have the microwave. Now we have
Boom.
Wi-Fi. Faster and faster and faster she goes. Who is she? Life.
Right.
How's she doing? Well, there's many stories of her. I mean,
Yes, man, you dropping bombs on
We're
me.
all in this house, so it's like the story of the house, right? In the loud house. Remember that? I don't know if anybody knows about the loud house, but a lot goes on. Maintaining a functioning existence. Maintaining a functioning existence. Moving forward with all the bullshit that comes with the story.
Mm.
But in the Bible and many other texts, there's like mad bullshit. Like it's like, oh, your bullshit's not better than mine. Then they're making millions on whose bullshit stinks the most.
Ooh-wee.
Ego. Ego presents itself. And then there's vanity. And God always reminds us. Like, that's why it's so beautiful. It's because a long, long time ago, God said, ooh, oh, you think you're something? Well, watch out for vanity. The room. Welcome to the room. Which room? Yeah. He's asking you what century, what age are you living in? Are you in the Ice Age? I think we're living in vanity because most of my people are not wearing the real hair, the real nails, their real
Ooh-wee.
butts, their real breasts, the real. Are we real? Are you ready to enter artificial intelligence? Are you ready to switch places with your old self
Mm.
for your new? Are you ready to go to the next level? So it's like at the end of the day, we usually are ready for a next level because life has handed us some bullshit ass cards. You're like, fuck these cards. Oh, there's a better way. Any day. They're counting on you to say any day.
Mm. They go die.
This is called bending the knee.
Right. Ooh-wee.
Ready for it, Brand, and you shall have. Don't get me started. I've said too much.
You drop some jewels. You dropping jewels. You airbending in them. You airbending on them.
Word. What's the cipher? I pick jewelry up when it's dropped, so talk to me.
Ooh-wee. She just
Peace,
took
peace, two peace, beloveds.
true
True
peace, God, about it.
peace, fam. So glad
Simone
that
just
you're here.
just took me through the water portal. Back and forth. we, I think we'd have jumped through the water portal, then the fire portal. And then
Yes,
I love it though. Now she just speaking on just major life facts. Like we really, ooh, yeah. You got to listen to that early playback though, because the way she delivering it is it can't be delivered as such. You know, it's I'm getting great Mother Balat energy. You know, to the fullest. Uh, you know, and Mother Balat is who helped reform the Melchizedekians, and so or the Zodokites. So all I all I can say, she doing what she know to do best. Uh, but she's speaking on real life facts, bro. Just really going in because you know we dealing with the yin and yang. Well, I wouldn't even call it that, but the reality versus the delusions of life of what you know what we experiencing and going through these ciphers and cycles of life, and you know ended up where we at now with you know at the breaking point of dealing with just artificial reality back to you know just real reality or what we like to call in order the you know the great realities. You know what I mean?
right.
Yeah, I ain't want to call her ciphering, but she's ciphering. She's ciphering. She on her Trinity today. If all's well on your end, big bro. Islam, true peace.
Um, yeah, man, I'm grateful. You know, you remember how earlier in the summer I was talking about how dry it was and how hot it was up here, and we ain't getting no rain. Now,
Right, I
we
remember.
finally, now we finally got some rain. Now the rain don't want to leave.
Right. It's raining down here as
Rain
well.
been
Two
rocking up
extremes,
here.
right?
Hey, yo, rain been rocking up here for like a month straight. Like before that, we had like the 2 months or so of the summer vibe where we was just dry as man. And I do landscaping, so I'm outside with plant life, and I'm seeing the effects of the difference in the weather, and I'm like, man, we need some rain, man. We need a nice little drizzle to come through. And finally, after a month and a half, 2 months, damn near, the rain finally come through. But now the nigga don't want to leave. Oh, we recording? Okay, pardon me. But yeah, now you don't want to leave. Now it just rain, boy.
That's crazy. Yeah, 'cause this past week it's been raining down here. I know for sure. It's been going hard. Like the clouds been looking extra weirdo. Like weirdo rain clouds. I ain't never seen no rain clouds like that. It's, yeah, man. She was ciphering because we really gonna have to differentiate between reality and I think she was gonna go into like how they kind of want us to make a choice to kind of give up what's real and adopt what is fake and or artificial at this point with artificial intelligence,
There's the
artificial
word.
emotion, the whole nine. What you say, Noble?
Nah, I said there's the word. You said it when I was mentally saying it. And you said artificial. I was like, there you
Yeah, like really the vanity of the matrix, or the matrix of vanity, because there's a matrix of reality and then there's a matrix of vanity. And that's why you have what's called red pill, blue pill, I guess, in that sense of the uh that never ending story of kind of what we was going into. And she said something real profound about us having YouTube, social media, microwaves, things like that, um to the point to where we trying to shorten life and shorten the value of the sweat equity, because I did a whole lecture on that, what that was like a couple years ago now at this point. But the biblical equity that we have, the sweat equity that we have, the sacred equity, and woo, the way she just ciphered it, bro, and put it in metaphorical layman terms, it still might have been over some people's heads, but man, people, brothers of our caliber, sisters and brothers of our caliber would totally appreciate that dialogue because it couldn't, like I said, it couldn't have been ciphered any better, bro. Islam.
know. Yeah, they do got a big replacement agenda going on. Trying to replace them. That's the Ready Player One. They trying to replace the
When has it
real.
ever been any different?
What she say?
Go ahead, Small.
When has it ever been any different?
You kind of, your question is real broad in the thought because you said when has it been any different? So for me, I'm just like, well, what it is she talking
The Ready Player One illusion.
I guess it's been different insofar as sophistication of approach. They just upgraded their capabilities of installing the Ready Player One.
I like how you said that installing, because that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's it. They're trying to get everybody uploaded, like that TV show Upload. They're trying to get it, man.
It's a show called Upload.
My
But that's
brother.
what I'm saying. Even through slavery, even through commerce, even through transactions with the banks, they're always trying to collect crowds to sign up for such purposes that they believe are right. And so, this is a blueprint. If you wanted to understand the way things work, there's always going to be a negative and there's always going to be a positive. In this day and age that I look around me left and right, and I see that unfortunately it looks like the negative is gaining some momentum. Don't want to say it, but I'm not gonna lie. I put a mat, I don't want to call it a mask. I must call it a mask. Fuck. I put one on my face to go and do a thing. Didn't like it, but that was the protocol. I'm saying they have blueprints of force. If the goodness wants to have force and create a thing that will never be forgotten, look at it as above, so below, instead of what is right and what's wrong. What works, works. So, what I'm saying is, if we're reaching to make change in this world, what are we doing together instead of individually is what matters.
What you just said right there just gave me the chilly chill spooky spooks for real. Man, hold on.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm pulling from a place that I don't pull from quite often, but I'm grateful to say thank you for giving me a place to release. Thank you. I feel
Let
safe
me
enough to say, I mean,
Yes, ma'am. Or let me get a little affirmation real quick, cause this week I talked to Sister Kira, my god sister. She came on Telegram, gave me a call real quick, and she was showing me her new Torah cards, and literally she was telling me about this movie called Unborn, and the character that they based the movie on is one of the our African ancestors or Ifa deities called Jumbi, and Jumbi on the Torah card on the deck was based on the African goddesses, and they did a movie called Unborn based on the, and it's spooking me because of what you just said and how you said it, and then in the context you just put it in, because like literally you just spoke to, I don't know if that's, I guess that's the ancestor speaking through, and you in that divine space to allow that to come through, because literally we just got the purpose of that deity or that ancestor is the mask, and in the Tarot card, it's actually a shadow card, so it represents the shadow self. It represents the so-called monsters and fears that we have and we have to get over. And so the card literally has the goddess in the middle with the mask, and then it has, like, I guess those will be shadow beings and different beings behind her, but each and every one of those beings have on a different type of African type of mask. And the point of the card is to take off the mask and be your true self, and be who you are, like everything you just keep. Whew.
Mask on. Mask on.
bro. Right, and they're doing these. Hmm. Yeah, she did that last week, bro. When you was in here talking, bro, she came through. She wasn't even in a space like that, and she just came through speaking on what it is that you was talking about. In that holy day before last, and literally just went all the way in on exactly what you was talking about. So, you have that anointingness on you. I see it. If don't nobody else see it, and ain't nobody else saying it, yeah. And then me and you got the same meaning of our name. Those who hear El, those who hear God. The card is symbolic of twins too as well. That's what stuck out to me, and that's what was like literally playing in my head the whole time. I'm like, wow, wow. And then I just said it because I said she came through with the energy of Mother Balat, right? And that's another twin version of the Madukian or the Zodakian energy. So, Mom, keep doing what you're doing, sister, because they speaking through you. We here to listen. I know for sure I'm here to listen. You got the space whenever. Like, this is for the women. You already know how I feel about it, Doc.
Appreciate the love. Appreciate the love. Love is what makes the world go round. And we can't forget that. Love is all we got. Your word is your bond. 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 Believe it. Achieve it. You got it. Press forward. Nothing can hold you back. You got it. It's within you. It's within you. It's within you. Press forward. No matter what. We are chosen for a moment such as this. You know that. You've been know that. We all know that. You keep asking. You keep asking. Yeah, I'm here. Why I'm here though? Why? What? What part? What part? What part? What part? What part? What part? Yeah, I'm here. What part? What part? What part? Where I'm at. You where you at? That's where you at. You made it. It's your fault. It's your bliss. It's your will. Be done. Be careful what you think. It manifests, it grows, it sows, it touches everyone, every thought, everyone. So now you live on purpose. Now you live with purpose. All right, walking together in the park. Now you're grateful for air.
Baby!
Now you're grateful for shoes so you can go further. Now you're grateful for the minute. They didn't hear me. Now you're grateful for the minute Ashe.
It's long. It's long. Yeah. Right.
V.
She, yeah, she, yeah, she letting the guys and goddesses, El Kulum, as we say, or Patimta, the all is speaking through. I feel it, I hear it. Um, and like right when you were saying it, they were saying, or Spirit was saying, go ahead and start, doing what you're supposed to do. Open up, be here, be where you at, like you said, and literally, just do the work. They'll come. They're gonna come as you build, and that's like you said, in the same message is consistent. Um, God might not show when you want him, but God will be there right on time. He always on time, and that's how we know we take this serious because we doing this even when it's one person in the room, two-person people in the room, and that's what's gonna set the standard. That's what's gonna set the example. Because, like you said, it's not about what we're doing for ourselves. By ourselves is what we're doing for each other, and as a community, as a people. We really setting the standard of reality for the next generation, because it has to be something for them to jump into other than vanity, or a mirror portal of vanity, the way eloquently inscribed earlier, through breaking it down, because it's crazy. And it speaks to the lessons that we're supposed to read every week. Uh, I ain't even do the prayer, the supplication, and reading the divine constitution, but I'm gonna start doing that real early. Uh, so that way, if it's already done, so that way people that's coming in, they can just kind of catch that as we come in. And I typically do it that way, but we need to get to that because we need to be, doing the affirmations together, and like really exercising the word, because the word is bond, and we got to be careful what we thinking and how we moving and exercising our abilities throughout the world, throughout the day. Like I said, we got the Friday, we can be taking advantage of this day. It's a lot of power on this day if we stay consistent and we build that momentum up. A lot of people are attracted to what they're attracted to, but this is gonna attract the people that we would like to have gathered and do things in righteousness namesake. I'm definitely with it. It's time, like like you say, try to take these masks off, and for people to understand, we got reality to deal with, and we need to bask in that. Like literally, man.
No sunshine when she's gone. No
Man,
sunshine when she's
beautiful
gone.
sun goddess today, real live sun goddess. Man,
Time she goes away. What I gotta go in this store here again? Why did I come here? Something I need to get. Oh, a battery for that scale. Got it. Into the Wally world. Walmart.
like I said, I totally appreciate it, cause man, you don't find nobody breaking things down that way. It's uh real scarce in this day and time when we dealing with a lot of vanity, and it's real heavy amongst us. But if y'all want, I'm gonna do these 19 affirmations and this divine supplication, kind of skim through these lessons for the week. That way we know we did it and we put our consistency in. Um, Just say as best as I can. Yeah, let me see. All right. Begin all prayers and thinking by using the all. O Heavenly One, the Most High, who is sustainer of all the worlds, we do accept the duty you have laid on us to clean up the filth made by the West and its non-submitting fools. O my sustainer, we beseech you to keep your hand over us to control the strings of the courses of our lives. Our sustainer, and if we do wrong, please show thy divine blessings and forgiveness on us. You are the only one that can raise us true followers of the news bearers. And in thy name we carry on. We gonna keep on with the keep on, y'all. Yeah, she came and fired up the flow. She woke it up in here.
I'm on.
She came and woke it up today. Yeah, they gonna come through and listen to the replays. Like I think last week it was just me and Idris in here, doctor, and then 10 people came in after that and been listening. So they go back and listen to these replays. So it's a good thing. But I'm gonna go ahead and do the affirmations real quick. And what we accept is fact, the daily affirmation of loyalty of the children of the Elohim. We accept as fact the eternal laws of nature as revealed through science, past events, logic, and common sense, revealed as right knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. We accept as fact the highest laws of nature is the cooperation and harmony of all living things. We accept as fact our way of life as a means to the best end. We accept as fact that loyalty is the greatest of all honors and treason is the worst of all crimes. We accept this fact that what is good for the Holy Tabernacle is the highest virtue, and what is bad for the Holy Tabernacle is the ultimate evil. We accept this fact that the Holy Tabernacle is the finest and noblest organization for all humanity created by circumstances. And the ancient and mystic order of Melchizedek is the noblest of fraternities on and above this planet. We accept this fact that creativity, love, and cooperation are the essence of success. We accept this fact that truth and facts are always and has always been the originator and creator of all success. We accept this fact that all worthwhile cultures and civilizations came about from the ancient Sumerians and Camite Egyptians, and the Anunnaki or Elohims from the heavens, without which there would be none. We accept this fact that for the Holy Tabernacle to survive, expand, and advance, we need first of all a revolution of values and thoughts, which must start within each person by being truthful with themselves and about themselves. Therefore, we completely and categorically reject all myths, fictions, religions, and lies that have not been proven. That would include your heavens, your hells, your hellfires and brimstones, your horned and pitchfork devils, your winged angels, and your old man God character sitting on a throne up there somewhere. We deal strictly with facts. If you can't prove it, we don't want to hear it. That doesn't mean we won't listen to you. Just don't expect us to accept your beliefs by virtue of a title such as Reverend, Pastor, Deacon, Imam, Sheik, Rabbi, Minister, Theologian, etc. That is your sensationalism, and we deal with just the facts. We accept this fact that the only true revolution is a war of good against evil, right against wrong, fairness against unfairness, loyalty against disloyalty, sincerity against sincerity, honesty against dishonesty, and this war is fought within each person amongst the agreeable and disagreeable Elohims that make up your willpower. We accept this fact that the unity of our community and its success will only happen with cooperation with all involved. We accept this fact the total unification of all humanity on the basis of truth, that is, accepting people and races for who and what they are, respecting their culture, their languages, and their beliefs, and expect the same. We accept this fact that the human race, its biological and cultural heritage is now under attack by our own morals, our self-righteousness, our desire to control industry, and these things attack the very existence of humanity. We accept this fact that males as well as females are equal in all things and should be dealt with as partners in all matters. We accept this fact that no one race of people is better than the other. In fact, no one wins the race and racism. We accept this fact that communication between different people is the cure to the ignorance that breeds the disease hate. We accept this fact that a good and well-rounded education could prevent most of the ignorance that plagues the world. We accept this fact that the all is just that, the all. You can't take from the all, you can't add to the all. We are all within the all is one. That is our concept of what you call a deity. To the fulfillment of these facts, we children of the Elohim forever pledge our lives, our sacred honor, and our spiritual zeal. True peace, y'all. And so, gotta stay consistent, because like she say, word is bond. And, you know, like I said, we got the day that is very empowering. You have Venus, like they say, you know, empowering this day. And we could be, you know, really taking advantage of that fact. And, you know, I'm all in. She got me fired up. I can go, you know, I can go do a whole sermon right now if I was able to kind of get it out, you know, in that manner. I'm not able to kind of go in like I want to where I'm at, but, you know, nonetheless, we gonna have us a good holy day. It's long.
Ashe.
Thank you, Noble, truly. With that, I'll read the Divine Constitution. Let me step out of here real quick. I'm about to pull it up for us. Yeah, because we gotta take advantage of this. A lot of people just wanna, you know, take advantage of the work that's done, and they didn't believe the, you know, divine messages of the prophet. So it is what it is. But I'm glad for us to have this opportunity. We alive, we breathing. We, you know, it can be done. So with that, I'm gonna read this Divine Constitution. Act 1 says the Grand Sheik and the chairman of the Moorish Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the prophet and the grand body of the Moorish Temple of America. The assistant Grand Sheik is to assist the Grand Sheik in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the members of the Moorish Temple of America. Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest because on a Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and on a Friday the first man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his Father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims, peacemakers all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Temple of America. No member is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you are a part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. The organization of the Moorish Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality that they may. We are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and parcel of the said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. Know what that was. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become part and parcel of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his father God Allah. Yeah, so we got a lot of powerful instructions that's left by our ancestors, and we got to take real heed, like you said earlier, Noble, because the message is clear. We do have to create a sacred space for our people, beyond what, the drama and the mess that we deal with on the regular, because it goes down from the mosque, the church, the different huts, all the way back to here. And we got to be mindful of that. We want to create that sacred space, because you do have those sacred spaces that are available to us in the church, in the mosque, or so-called villages and huts, wherever they may be, wherever the gathering is at, especially a gathering out of love and truth, peace, freedom, and justice, as we know we're supposed to gather and do the work that needs to get done. Because this is what we said we was gonna do since time immemorial. Today is just another day. Ain't nothing new under the sun.
That's right. And so, the sacred space is within your heart, is within you. And then when you get the message, you tell your neighbor, and it goes within them. And it's carried on, one after another. It's the reality, it's the realization of where you are at that moment. And that's what's beautiful. Whether you dare to share where you are in that moment shows your strength. Tell the truth and shame the devil.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what you have. But you ask yourself, what do you have? You have the power of your vibration and your belief in that moment. And then once you get the idea, you may or may not share it with another. But because you decided to share with another, may touch their life. And don't forget, you have the power to open the door. You have the power to be someone else's miracle. You have the power to open the door. You have the power to close the door. So before you decide, pray, dance, laugh, take a bath, smell something real, write something real, be real in that moment before you decide. Do all the things that are required to answer correctly because you want to be correct. If you want to be correct in your preparation. If you want to be correct in your preparation. Me included. I will replay this to rejuvenate my spirit, as you will. I know you will. Because we're all seeking, but those that seek at the same time, that says something. That's your flight, that's your take flight on time if you can, because they need you, because they need us, because I need me.
Mm, mm, mm. Yes, ma'am.
So, the platforms that created this space, think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Diligent and obedient, not knowing the particular point of destination, but familiar in the essence of where they're going. That is beautiful. That is the answer. When you look at a person and they've got this look in their eye like, I'm going somewhere, pardon me, I have to do this. It's been recorded that there's been people in history that just had this knowing. That is the essence of obedience. Who do you serve? Then, the bigger question, who do you serve? The scarier question, who do you serve? You getting your thing on? You getting your dreams? You getting it? Huh? You want a thing? You getting it? You getting it? Or are you getting theirs? Because at the end of the day, you're going to work to build someone else's dream, or you're going to work to build your dream. You work for a company. Whose company are you building?
Mm.
Are they building yours? You could be born into a situation where Daddy decided that I created the thing and we are building the family thing. Yeah. And I think that's like the best thing. When the family builds the thing and they all agree upon, not force. When the family builds and they all agree upon, not force, that cannot be stopped. The center of the core is love, a common denominator. There is. Yes. Common denominator. What is for me, the common denominator must be love. Oh, it's gotta be right. It's gotta feel good. It's gotta, because love is like, oh boy. You found it. Good job. So when they ask you, you're fighting for something that you love. Well, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? What's your favorite thing outside of TV and Netflix? What's the real you? And so, what I'd like to offer is the real you. The process to finding ourselves and to connecting to the real us. Because when you're born into sin, you're born into the world, but be in the world, but not of it. It's a higher dimension when you want to address that statement. When you're not ready for that statement, I understand. But if you come across this statement, that thing, I'll do a work on you. I know. Be in it, but not of it. That's not your makeup, is what it says. You can be present, but you do not manifest the same things that they manifest. You cannot, because you're called, and that is the burden of the called. You're in it, but you're not of it. So, Ashe.
Ashe. True peace, chaplain. True peace. Oh, yeah, you lit the room up today, Noble. Yeah, we definitely needed that. Like I say, the messages from the goddesses is coming through you. I definitely hear it. If they not hearing it, they missing the boat. Ooh. I'm gonna read this chapter 25 from the Holy Qur'an, circle 7, to add on to that. Because like you said, you know, if we as a family come together, not forced, you know, it's miracles we can make. And I see that happening here now with the group of people that we have coming together and really pouring in and just tapping in. Because, all right, y'all already know, for those that know, that got a copy of the Holy Quran, circle 7. It says, "Ye are the children of one father, provided for by his care in the breast of one mother, had given you suck." Go back to what we were talking about earlier, right? "Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in thy father's house. And when ye separate in the world, remember the relation that bindeth you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. If thy brother is in adversity, assist him. If thy sister is in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy fathers contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other." And that's chapter 25 for our weekly readings, which Sister Simone, Noble Simone, spoke so gracefully to and about. Because, you know, if y'all not hearing the divine messages channeled through the beings and the divine entities that come through, you know, like I say, you're missing the boat. You know, like she said, we all getting on the plane. We're gonna do a wonderful thing as a family. With that, I'm gonna read chapter 25, not 25, but 47 and 48, so that way we done our weekly readings for the week. And those that are coming in listening to the replay, be sure to click that greenhouse at the top, join us. We'll be here doing this every week. We'll pretty much try to catch every holy day. I don't think it's a holy day that we really haven't done, other than, you know, days where it's just been me probably in the room. But you know, like sister just brought the fire to the room, we got to maintain that consistency. So, you know, and that's the strength. That's our strength. Repetition is the father and divine mother of learning. So with that, we're gonna keep it you know, we're gonna keep it flowing like it's supposed to flow. You know, like she said earlier, the sun don't stop shining in the morning doing its job. The moon don't stop you know, twinkling and rising and circling and orbiting, doing its job. So when we take up a divine purpose, we got to stay consistent at it and do the thing. So chapter 48 is called Egypt, the Capital Empire of the Dominion of Africa. And it states, "The inhabitants of Africa are the descendants of the ancient Canaanites from the land of Canaan. Old man Cush and his family are the first inhabitants of Africa who came from the land of Canaan. His father Ham and his family were second. Then came the word Ethiopia, which means the demarcation line of the dominion of Amexem, the first and true and divine name of Africa, the dividing of the land between the Father and the Son. The dominion of Cush, northeast and southeast Africa, and northwest and southwest was his father's dominion of Africa. In later years, many of their brethren from Asia and the Holy Lands joined them. The Moabites from the land of Moab, who received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle in and inhabit northwest Africa, they were the founders and are the true possessors of the present Moroccan Empire, with their Canaanite, Hittite, and Amorite brethren, who sovereign from the land of Canaan seeking new homes. Their dominion and inhabitation extended from northeast and southwest Africa, across Great Atlantis, even unto the present North, South, and Central America, and also Mexico and the Atlantis Islands, before the great earthquake which caused the great Atlantic Ocean. The river Nile was dredged and made by the ancient pharaohs of Egypt in order to trade with the surrounding kingdoms. Also, the Niger River was dredged by the great pharaoh of Egypt in those ancient days for trade, and it extends eastward from the river Nile, westward across the great Atlantic. It was used for trade and transportation. According to all true and divine records of the human race, there is no Negro, black, or colored race attached to the human family, because all the inhabitants of Africa were and are of the human race, descendants of the ancient Canaanite nation from the Holy Land of Canaan. What your ancient forefathers were, you are today without doubt or contradiction. There is no one who is able to change man from the descendant nature of his forefathers, unless his power extends beyond the great universal creator Allah himself. These holy and divine laws are from the prophet Noble Drew Ali, the founder of the uniting of the Moorish Science Temple of America. These laws are to be strictly preserved by the members of all the temples of the Moorish Science Temple of America, that they will learn to open their meeting and guide it according to the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Every subordinate temple of the Grand Major Temple is to form under the covenant of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and to create their own laws and customs, in conjunction with the laws of the Holy Prophet and the Grand Temple. I, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, was sent by the great Allah to warn, by the great God Allah, to warn all Asiatics of America to repent from their sinful ways before that great and awful day that is sure to come. The time has come when every nation must worship under its own vine and fig tree. Every tongue must confess his own. Through sin and disobedience, every nation has suffered slavery due to the fact that they honored not the creed and principles of their forefathers. This is why the nationality of the Moors was taken away from them in 1774, and the word Negro, black, and colored was given to the Asiatics of America who were of Moorish descent, because they honored not the principles of their mother and father and strayed after the gods of Europe, of whom they knew nothing. And that's exactly everything Sister Simone came and spoke on today. Thank you, Noble, because you really brought it home. You really full circle. And we running a cipher of reality here, and that comes from within, from the heart. That genuineness, that originality, it comes from within. And y'all better catch the cipher on the replay of this one. So chapter 48 is called The End of Time and the Fulfilling of the Prophecies, which is another thing the sister mentioned again. As I said, y'all want to go back and listen to these replays. For those that are, coming in, you want to listen clearly and not just skip through it. So with that, it says, the last prophet in these days is Noble Drew Ali, who was prepared divinely in due time by Allah to redeem men from their sinful ways, and to warn them of the great wrath which is sure to come upon the earth. John the Baptist was the forerunner of Jesus in those days, to warn and stir up the nation and prepare them to receive the divine creed which was to be taught by Jesus. In these modern days, there came a forerunner of Jesus who was divinely prepared by the great God Allah, and his name is Marcus Garvey, who did teach and warn the nations of the earth to prepare to meet the coming prophet, who was to bring the true and divine creed of Islam, and his name is Noble Drew Ali, who was prepared and sent to this earth by Allah to teach the old-time religion and the everlasting gospels to the sons of men, that every nation shall and must worship under their own vine and fig tree, and return to their own and be one with their Father God Allah. The Moorish Science Temple of America is a lawfully chartered and incorporated organization. Any subordinate temple that desires to receive a charter, the Prophet has them to issue to every state throughout the United States, etc., that the world may hear and know the truth, that among the descendants of Africa there is still much wisdom to be learned in these days, for the redemption of the sons of man under love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. We, as a clean and pure nation, descendants from the inhabitants of Africa, do not desire to amalgamate or marry into the families of the pale-skinned nations of Europe, neither serve the gods of their religion, because our forefathers are the true and divine founders of the first religious creed for the redemption and salvation of mankind on earth. Therefore, we are returning the church and Christianity back to the European nations as it was prepared by their forefathers for their earthly salvation. While we, the Moorish Americans, are returning to Islam, which was founded by our forefathers for our earthly and divine salvation. The covenant of the great God Allah: honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be longer upon the earthland, which the Lord thy God Allah had given thee. Come, all ye Asiatics of America, and hear the truth about your nationality and birthrights, because you are not Negroes. Learn of your forefathers' ancient creed, ancient and divine creed, that you will learn to love instead of hate. We're trying to uplift fallen humanity. Come link yourself with the family of nations. We honor all true and divine prophets. Mm, mm, mm. Thank you, Sister Simone. You came through with that divine love. So yeah, we went through our weekly readings, and usually uh you know we usually do that early in the cipher in the temple service. But it came when it came, and it came how it had to come. uh the divine transmissions came through from the divine goddess, the divine mother. And like I said, I hope y'all that's listening that come back and listen to the replays, y'all take heed to the messages, because they pretty much cipher around. And this information is real prevalent to those that are seeking how to proclaim their nationality and understand more about the structure of the Moorish Science Temple of America and the things that the prophet came and fulfilled for us. And a lot of people ask these questions throughout the week, but they don't actually get a chance to kind of show up here to these meetings. And you get a chance, if you come across this information, please stick around, because it is here. We here every week, and we do go through it. We appreciate people that come through and make their contributions divinely. And we want you to come through and speak and pour in, and come on stage, click the greenhouse, so that way when you come to the next meeting that we have on Holy Day, the next temple service that we have, you can actually be one of our guest speakers, making your contribution. All testimonies are needed, and we're building that consistency. We're building a divine family. Like she said, this is not forced. This is something that we all agreed upon. And those that are kind of floating between the world of vanity and the world of reality, this is your sign. Take heed. The message is very, very clear. So I'm gonna read the words, the warnings from the prophet real quick. That way we know we took care of our daily, our weekly duties. I'm sorry. And we can go to our closes and things like that, and do our prayer, and say our final words, and we can go about our divine other duties in life. So with that, I'm gonna read the warning that the prophet wants us to read to all peacemakers and Muslims, for us to be read in every temple service real quick. And let me go ahead and change this link at the top, that way y'all can click on it as y'all come in. The World Treasury of Merit, because we don't do no tithes and offerings here. We just do our link, to where we let you guys hear the words from the prophet, and we put the link at the top to where y'all can learn more about the World Treasury and what it is that we're doing as a global treasury body, and kind of get up to date on some of the things That was one of the current events I want to go over real quick though, because um, I was on one of the Moorish brothers' lives today, and he was talking about the Roman Curia and how all of the church donations actually go to, the Vatican and things like that. So, just be aware, if you are actually a part of what's considered a free church or a church that's kind of controlled by the state, and have to deal with the laws that govern the IRS and the private side of things, and just understand uh, the ministerial placement of all these things, and how it affects us as a whole. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and read the warning from the prophet. Y'all, it says, I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your card at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are for love, true peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet noble Jew Ali, and if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet therefore is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways. True peace, noble Jew Ali. So, we was told to conduct ourselves and honor the divine principles of nature. We don't have to get violent with nobody, have to fight back with nobody. You can defend yourself, but at the same time, Allah pretty much rewards people for what they do, and that's a little known universal law called cause and effect. And just understand that, the words that the divine goddess Sister Simone spoke upon are reign true, because even the prophet mentioned that in the messages and the divine warning that he gave us, and we want to take heed to that. So like I said, everything the sister came through is a 360-degree cipher of divine divine law, and just putting her creative touch on it, which is a blessing. So those that are listening to the replay, like I say, you don't want to skip through this. You want to hear every single thing that we discussed, even if it was a little slow in the beginning. You know what I mean? It like I said, it got woken up by the divine goddess, and she made sure we understand our purpose here today. Islam.
Ashe.
Shay. So the prophet said this is to be read in every meeting as well, in every temple service. So we try to get this done with all the meetings that we do have best as we can. Islam, the prophet says, I'm glad to know that I have a few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There's a host of jealousy about me and the movement now by the same people of our side of the nation that claim that I was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as American citizens, they are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me, so they may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that attribute to the movement and uplifting funds. The ones that paid their divine respect to me and the movement will be remembered. That is why I am calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance, and I need it badly. Never before have I needed finance so badly as I do at present, so I can shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my fame and nobility. The nations of the world would not recognize the movement without me, the prophet, being head. It has been proven by my works, which I have performed in the past few years. Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So there's plenty of readings that we can go through, but these are the main literary points that the prophet wants us to make in every temple meeting and make it known in every temple meeting. Y'all take heed. We read them in every temple service pretty much as we as efficiently as we can. I have the temple, the World Treasury of Merit link that's pinned to the top of the room. Y'all can click that link if you want to learn more about the World Treasury, about the temple tax, and the whole point of what keep coming up when a lot of these patriot movements and sovereign citizen movements that causes distractions and or we kind of get grouped up in, which we're not a part of. And we try to help people best as they can understand that we are a sub-administrative body of the United States of America, and we're still dealing with the Dred Scott case, and a lot of our people are still being treated like stateless people and refugees, and we kind of wonder why. But if you want to understand, for those that have been studying some of the Moorish literature for a while now, understand why the prophet says we're nothing without a treasury, as is stated in the oral prophecies and sayings. That we should also be reading in these services and in our meetings. You want to click that link that's pinned to the top called the World Treasury of Merit. It's going to take you to our World Treasury tab on the website. And we also have books available in the World Library on the site, so that way you can download some of the books that we read on our interfaith tribunal days, Monday through Thursday, which we haven't done in like 2 weeks, but we'll be getting back to that real soon. And yeah, y'all get a hold of this wealth of knowledge and understand the purpose why you give unto God what is due unto God, and give unto Caesar what is due unto Caesar, and the authority that we have as a ministerial body, as a ministerial family. And what that means is we're a God-serving, God-loving family, and we come together in the name of the Most High, or under the guise of the Most High, whatever. You don't want to give them a name for some of our Buddhist people out there, or Taoist people out there that understand these principles as well. But with that, click the link when you get a chance. We'll be here. And anybody got any last things they want to bring to the floor before we close out?
Just want to say thank you for being consistent and creating the atmosphere for us to be able to speak. I'm very grateful for it. As I grow, I tell my stories, and I'm grateful to be able to tell my stories in a special place. So that's it.
Thank you, Nova. Thank you. Ashe, 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 Ashe. Yeah, this definitely is the space for us to talk to the ancestors, use the words of power, especially the word Ashe, and just all the information of being transcendental people. That's who we are. We are the indigenous peoples of across the world, around the world, off planet, on planet. And this is a safe space, especially if like I said earlier, you feel like you're an ET, you're not alone. So welcome home, welcome home, welcome home. Shalom, shalom, salam, salam. Peace be upon you, peace be upon everyone. You're in a space to where I wish we was doing more of this, which we will be doing more of this. But as far as just the weekly services, getting into our actual school days, where we'll be coming in on Tuesday and Thursday, and actually that group of people, those group of beings that want to be adepts and ministers, which we do have ministry one-on-one, and we'll be going into a boatload of sacred knowledge, a boatload of information that's not really on the app like that, and the way that we're going to deliver it. We'll also be meditating together and channeling and learning different meditations from just all over the board, that it pretty much have been passed down for us, from different gods and goddesses, different patriots of indigenous peoples, and the lessons that they have left us with, especially these high frequency lessons. We like brother Dr. Idris mentioned, me and him, we're both astute of doing prana and breath work And that's one of the things you read in the temple one-on-ones as you go and join our free civics course that we have. Make sure y'all click that link, go to the temple district, go to the new university, enroll now or learn more. Either one of those buttons that you want to click and join the temple district, join the free civics course one-on-one. It's free for everybody. We are a global school. We are a global citizenship school. And it's best to get on board, get your world passport. You can actually utilize me or one of the brothers and sisters that are ministers. Sister Debbie Littles is a chaplain. You can reach out, click on her profile, and get in contact with us. That way we can, get you right with your world passport. Help you with the notary if you need it or need someone to speak upon your behalf. As a world citizen, you're here. You have that opportunity. This is a space where all the borders are pretty much evaporating, and we're global representatives and global ministers for us as a people. And we're going to help our people get past these conspiracy theories of a so-called new world order, because that is past, that's passing. And you have to realize the changes that are coming into effect. And we try to help our people, as Sister Simone said earlier, get past that duality of the changes that are coming. Are you ready to be a new you? And realize that there are real lies going on out here in the world, and get in tune with that organic frequency which you make up as an organic being, as an organic person, a sentient being. Or do you want to get caught up in the artificial ways of living, the artificial intelligences, things that are coming? And they have artificial intelligence, they have artificial emotional intelligence. These computers are going to be doing a whole number of things. And people are trying to learn how to live on exoplanets and things like that. And we can help with that neuroplasticity and the neurodivergency that's waking upon us as a people. And you're not alone. So with that, we can get to this prayer, y'all. But like I say, click the link at the top, join us. We got free civics one-on-one courses for those that are coming into the temple and want to actually become a part of the family and grow with us, a part of the family. And we do help you for those that are aspiring to be ministers and adepts. Set up your own temple branch and your own branch temple, and how to get involved and who to reach out to. And with that, I'm gonna go into this prayer, y'all. Y'all know how this go. I'm gonna pin the link to the top so they can click on the prayer real quick. So like I say, just don't skim through these holy day services, because you'll miss a lot, especially the links that we're sharing. The links that we're sharing is real important. So I'm about to add the Moorish American prayer up to the top of the room real quick, and then we're gonna close this thing. You about to say something, Simone? I just seen your mic when I clicked on the screen.
I was just
I was
going to
just
say
gonna
peace
say
and
peace and
blessings
blessings.
to everyone that's here. I think that we're all searching for a better day, a brighter moment.
A brighter moment.
And while we
And
are
while
all searching, we can come together and love each other. Because there's too much negativity in the world, there's so much that we can focus on that's negative. And the best thing that we could do is focus on the positive. And I'm grateful for this space. I'm grateful for the time that I have to speak to everyone. And I hope that it touches someone, because being vulnerable with my speech, being vulnerable and saying the things that I do is not always an easy thing for me. But I'm grateful for the moment to be able to be honest and to come forward with my energy, and we grow together, because that is what square one looks like. Just showing up for your truth, just manifesting what's real in your life. is the power that you yield. Sometimes we are afraid of our own gifts, me included. But as I grow into mine, I want to share the experience, the vulnerabilities, because someone, my family members, they shared their vulnerabilities with me, and I'm grateful. So if I could touch the world, the one thing that I could give to the world is the real me and the thing that I experience in each moment, and just be honest in that moment what I'm feeling, because it may resonate greater in someone else, and that message may be the message that they were waiting on, just your truth. So don't hold back on your own truth. Be honest always. Ashe.
Ashe. Thank you, Lord. Let's do this prayer. We're gonna close it out, y'all. Love y'all. Thank y'all for coming and making contributions. Thank you, Sister Divinity, World Chaplain, Debbie Littles. And we're gonna keep making history, y'all. So y'all know how this go. We can stand up to the east, hold up 5 fingers on the left hand, 5 fingers on the 2 fingers on the right hand. I'm sorry. Jesus fed the world with was that 2 fishes and 5 loaves of bread, right? So, or 5 fishes and 2 loaves of bread. Y'all know what I mean. Heels at a 45-degree angle. We gonna do this prayer, y'all. We gonna take it home. Y'all can say it with me to yourselves, and we channel in, tap in together. Divine love. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day through His holy prophet, Noble Joe Ali. Amen. And we honor and respect all the divine prophets. Come link yourself with the family and nations, y'all. Divine love. Wadu. True peace, y'all. Divine love. Thank you, Simone.
True peace.
True peace, beloved. Y'all need to contact me. I'll be here if y'all still want to build. I'll be in the back. About to call it a night, y'all. Wadu. One love.